What's up, Bring a Trailer? My name is Arun with We Are Driven, and I'm very excited to present this 2003 Aston Martin V12 Vanquish. This is what I believe to be the absolute best value for an exotic branded V12 car that you can possibly get. This one has some miles, has some title stories that I will tell you about, but overall, this is an incredibly well-sorted, gorgeous car that is becoming a classic. I believe only going up in value. That is why I bought it, and that is why I'm representing it for sale here today. So with all that said, let's get to the walk around. Sorry, before we get to the walk around video, I want to talk about the salvage title on this car. This car comes with a salvage title that the previous owner who I bought it from earned. He earned that salvage title at the beginning of 2025 when the car, I believe, had in the 38,000 mile range. And the reason that he cited for it receiving a salvage title is that it had an encounter with some standing water. This car was in Florida. It could be perceived as a result of that salvage title and his comments that this is a flood car. This is not a flood car. I repeat, this is not a flood car. Let me tell you what I believe happened to this car. This car had a loan on it with the previous owner. The loan was removed as a result of the salvage title. The repair bill that coincided on a time frame with the salvage title being issued was for $8,000. And what was included in that $8,000 repair that caused the insurance company to deem this car total? That bill was for the control arms on this side of the car, plus the lower rear right control arm, and the driver's seat module. So here is my hypothesis for what happened, knowing that this is not a flood car because there's no water line, there are no electrical gremlins whatsoever, there is no rust that wouldn't have already been present from a car like this sitting in the Florida coast for its entire life. Here's what I think actually happened to this car. The guy drove through a big puddle and it potentially damaged the control arm, front and rear on the driver's side of the car. He drove through a big puddle. The resistance from the deeper water caused suspension damage, or at least wear and tear, to continue at a level where it was important or prudent to replace the suspension. The water potentially splashed into the driver's seat. The alternative hypothesis with this car is that he left the window slightly down and had some worn suspension. Because of that, he decided to total out the car in order to get out from the loan. That's my hypothesis. It was either that there was water intrusion because of a window that was left rolled down and some worn suspension, or he drove through a really big puddle, potentially damaged some of the underside suspension, and got it replaced. That repair bill for $8,000 is all that I was able to find in the history of this car for why it needed to be salvaged. I have no evidence whatsoever that this is a flood car, so I will repeat it one more time. Although this is a Florida salvage title car, this is not a flood car. Let's get to the walk around. Let me show you around this Vanquish. We'll start here at the front. It is not perfect. This car has 40,000 miles on it, so you can see some blemishes up here in the PPF, but it is a partial PPF up to here. I don't know how well you can see that little line there. Down here are some of the worst bits of the PPF. I don't know for sure if the damage is through the film or not, but you can see those couple of areas there. This trim on the bottom is kind of hanging off a little bit, but like I said, 40,000 mile car. The fitment of this side marker here is not quite perfect. We actually secured it back into place in there. This headlight has some debris in it, but does seem to be sealed. We've had this out in weather. There's no fogging or anything like that. We've done a nice headlight restoration on this car. Walk down the driver's side for you. I don't really see any curbing on these wheels, which is great, of course. More PPF. Old, of course, on the mirror. This side has one little scuff there. And I think this will come out, maybe not. One little scuff there as well. Here's this wheel. Okay, now my favorite angle of this car, rear end. This is where I believe there's some shotguns in the Bond film. Here's some weather stripping, actually. That's not quite, or part of the bumper, actually. Seems to be kind of popping out a little bit right there. Exhaust sounds really good on this for future reference when we get to the driving video and the cold start video. Back end of this car is in really good shape. The only thing I'll mention, the tint back here, peeling a little bit in there. This does seem to have some condensation in it. A little crack. It's right on the glare. Let's see if I can help you out seeing that. There's a little crack in the housing there. Pretty dark tint on this car also. Go around this wheel, little bit of a scratch right there. Okay, this side's where it has a bit more in the door ding department. One there, one there. And we're back where we started. Let me show you inside next. I'm gonna show you the interior now that I got some light going on in there. Got this for driver's door here. This metal handle has a little bit of scratching on it, but nice little special Aston Martin handle. We have a gray bezel on this side. You'll notice that side has a black door handle bezel on it. That side was replaced with an aftermarket unit according to the shop that previously worked on this and the previous owner. This driver's seat has a couple tears in it. It's worn, it's Alcantara, it's 23 years old. Take what you can. Otherwise in here, pretty good condition. Pedals looking good. Currently 40,500 miles. Clock works. Interior works, AC heat, everything there, heated seats. This Bluetooth stereo works, has a little remote that goes with it. It's kind of fun. Passenger side is in better condition over there. Back. Don't know how well that's going to come out on camera. It's quite dark. We'll do our best. Get the hood and trunk open for you guys. Last thing I'll show you here, this seatbelt bezel there has some cracks in it. Okay, this is a car cover in the trunk. Comes with your purchase. Here we have an aftermarket amp. This thing is gigantic. I don't know what era it's from, but it is huge. Nice monogrammed carpet there. Some leather care. The umbrella. It's not branded, but it is a Aston umbrella. Owner's manuals here. First aid kit. I believe that belongs up there, but that's your trunk. Get under the hood next. The handcrafted V12. We've looked over this whole car. We fixed one leaking hose. The oil pan gasket does have a small seep to it. We've cleaned it up. It's not worth doing right now. That is an engine out job to reseal it, but it's really not too severe. We'll get pictures into the gallery for that. This is engine number 934 by Thomas Clark. That's what you're working with under the hood. Actually quite serviceable, not too much plastic. Oil cap, dipstick, brake fluid. No, I'm sorry. Coolant, brake fluid, air filters, fuses, jump pack, or a jumper. access, windshield washer fluid, power steering fluid. It's all very accessible under here. Anyways, we'll get to the cold start video and then get on the road. All right, driving video for the Aston Martin Vanquish. Here we go. While we wait for it to get some temperature in it so I can demonstrate the lovely exhaust and pulling power of this 40,000 mile Vanquish, I want to talk about the transmission. I have a Murcielago. You will have seen it in the background of the walk around video right behind this car. And both the Murcielago and this car have an automated single clutch, hydro-pneumatically actuated, or whatever you call it, automatic transmission, paddle shift transmission. And this one is notoriously bad, according to the internet, according to old car reviews and things like that. Let me tell you my impression of this car as somebody who owns a similar car with a similar transmission that people don't complain about nearly as much. The Murcielago E-Gear versus the Graziano Vanquish single clutch automated manual. This transmission, make sure you hit the sport button, and as long as you do that, this is a smooth, easy to use, easy to hill start, easy to reverse transmission. The Murcielago, by comparison, is an extremely rough, extremely difficult clutch engagement, very slow shifting transmission. This one, it's slow, but it's not that slow. Couple things you'll note as you drive this car. It occasionally comes up with a gearbox fault light that is only there while it's shifting and it goes away right away. According to other owners of Vanquishes, that is a known feature of these cars that you do not have to worry about. It's basically saying, it's cold, we're not ready to do all the shifting that you want to do yet, but it's actually fine. Like, it can go into any gear, regardless if you just started or not. It'll do any gear, it'll go, it'll pull, it'll shift, it'll do everything you need. It just may go, hey, calm down, or something like that. What else can I tell you about this car? It sounds great. I had previously a 2012 DBS, the car that came after this. And the DBS was quite quiet because it had, the one I had a sport aftermarket exhaust on it. And in that form, with the aftermarket exhaust, like a medium aftermarket exhaust, it was about as loud as this one is with a stock exhaust. So I really appreciate that. I think that's cool. I'll talk about the interior of this car. We have this very nice stitched, diamond stitched Alcantara headliner. Same thing on the seats, although as you saw in the walk around, the driver's seat is pretty worn out. Pretty dark tint, except on the windshield where they really needed it for this quite bad dash wear that I pointed out already. There's nothing about this car to me that suggests anything salvage title. You'll see the paint meter readings in the gallery. I don't think this car has ever been repainted even. I think this car is as stock as they come. It's sat in Florida garages for its entire life. It's been driven 40,000 miles because it is a frankly very comfortable, easy to use, fun, fast, special feeling car. Couple things to note on the special feeling thing. I'll tell you, as a previous Aston Martin owner and now this one, you don't get the looks that you do with other types of cars. It's not as special to the general public. If you want to flex, this probably isn't the car to do it. The other thing is I'm 6'8". I can barely fit in this thing. My knee is wedged between the dash and the key sticking out of the ignition, and I have like a millimeter on both sides. And so it's a little sketchy for fitting and space and that kind of thing. We'll do some underside photos of this car in the gallery as well. You will see the suspension is tired. It's original to the car, 40,000 miles, but it doesn't ride horribly. And the control arm bushings are worn. It's things that on a car like this, which is really more of a grand tourer, I don't think you need to worry about that too much. I wouldn't worry about the suspension being a problem, because this isn't a car you're gonna go beating down corners with. I hope not. This is a car that you're looking at as a smooth, comfortable, fast car that can eat up freeway miles. And on the freeway, this thing behaves exactly how you would want it to. It has a ton of torque. It has very good looks that you can check out in the reflection of the downtown windows that you're driving past as you go by. You feel like James Bond, of course. Everybody will talk about that. But honestly, I look at this car as just an excellent value for money, because it'll be under 50 grand and you're getting an Aston Martin V12, very well sorted out car that's notoriously reliable, easy to use, and honestly, just like a simple car. This isn't something that's intimidating. This isn't something that you should be worried about, you know, extreme maintenance costs. This is at a time when Ford owned Aston Martin. We performed an oil change as part of the preparation for sale, and we used a Motorcraft oil filter. A Ford oil filter is what we used in this car. So an oil change isn't like a $700 thing. This is like a very approachable and normal car to use. All that said, all right, maybe getting into first from neutral, it's a little slow sometimes. With all that said, this is a fun car. And super buttery smooth gears. The RPM, the whole rev range is just a pleasure to experience. And it pulls. I mean, I don't know. I wasn't looking at the speedometer. I was being a responsible driver there. Let me give you guys one good pull just to show you what this car is really like when you get on it. It is super smooth. The entire rev range sounds amazing. V12 is exactly what you want it to be. From the outside, from behind, it's loud, it's special, it's spirited feeling. But when it comes to performance driving, I will tell you a couple things. The brakes are from 2003 and they are designed to stop a heavy car like this about as well as an SUV. It's again, not designed for attacking corners. This is a highway cruiser and should be treated as such. Don't expect the brakes to be anything amazing for you. In addition, it's just so fun. I love this car. But there's the brakes. As I mentioned, you should always have it in sport mode. I do the same thing with my Murcielago. Because the downshifts in sport mode are actually going to preserve the clutch. So for whoever buys this next, make sure you use sport mode. I don't think there's much more to talk about with this car. If you've watched this far, hopefully you're excited to buy it or you've enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching and happy bidding.